What is going on at EA with all the layoffs and Respawn Entertainment having to focus on their bread-winning IPs like Star Wars and Apex? What's going on here? Not only did EA cancel the Black Panther game, but they closed Cliffhanger Studios down. IGN got their hands on an email sent to staff that the cancellations and layoffs are to sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. All right, yeah, so only the games that make money, which the best-selling games published by EA is the sports games and The Sims. Oh, and there's Apex. Yep, their top-selling franchises is FIFA, The Sims. Need for Speed, maybe they'll bring that back. Apex. Battlefield's making a comeback. Hey, people are getting crazy over Battlefield 6. But anyways, that is not a good sign for other things, like a new Titanfall game getting canceled. So it was just last month that Respawn cut 300 people, and the president of EA goes on to say, these decisions are hard. They affect people we've worked with, learned from, shared real moments with. Yeah, here's your severance. Get out of here. The corpo speak is tough with this one. This is what I was looking for earlier. The president says it themselves. The company is focusing on a small handful of franchises going forward: Battlefield, The Sims, Skate, Apex Legends. But reassures that EA will continue to invest in the Iron Man game at Motive and the third Star Wars Jedi game from Respawn. And BioWare will continue to work on the next Mass Effect installment. I'm not gonna lie, I've been having trouble keeping up with all the superhero games. There was that Wonder Woman game that WB Games canceled. Marvel 1943 from Skydance Interactive, which I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this news, I thought that was the game that was getting canceled, but that's not EA. But with EA, they struck a deal with Marvel for 3 games. This Black Panther game that got canceled, the Iron Man game from Motive, and one unannounced project. We also have the Wolverine game from Insomniac that we haven't seen in a while, and Blade from Bethesda Arcane. Okay, so it's not looking great at EA between shuffling people around at BioWare, layoffs at Respawn, and now shutting down Cliffhanger Games. Which, like, this always happens when companies buy other ones. We keep getting these conglomerates of a giant gaming company. Think like Embracer Group. And, you know, they always say, oh, we're never gonna meddle or involve ourselves in the actual development of their teams. They're basically like their own entity. But when push comes to shove and the books are getting audited, they will cut and absorb these teams. It is like clockwork. When a studio gets bought, you'd like to think that the opposite thing happens where a publisher can now fund them greatly. And it's not just a bunch of dormant IPs just for them to work on the next Call of Duty. Let's see, what does Cliffhanger Games work on? Well, obviously the Black Panther game that's gone. That sucks. I don't even think I've seen a trailer for this game. As we celebrate the 57th anniversary of Black Panther's comic debut, we're thrilled to announce Cliffhanger Games, a new AAA dev studio based in Seattle, is working on an original third-party single-player Black Panther game in collaboration with Marvel Games. Oh my god! They did not get far with this one. That was almost exactly 2 years ago, July 10th, 2023. Led by Kevin Stevens, Monolith Productions, Cliffhanger already brought together accomplished talents with leads from critically acclaimed and innovative action and adventure games Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, along with veteran of top franchises including Halo Infinite, God of War, Call of Duty, and others. Oh man. Sucks when a new venture ends up like this. We're dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over the narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game. Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do. It sounds like they were just literally gonna do like a Spider-Man game, but with Black Panther, which would have been cool, right? So Marvel has not yet commented on this. It's odd that they would cancel a game if they already struck a deal with Marvel. This is what happens when gaming gets too expensive. EA has been growing since 2015. They got 800 new employees since last year. Now, a lot of these people, if they're not laid off or if we can see a canceled studio, they've actually been getting restructured around all these different studios to work on the big stuff, right? The Star Wars, the Apexes, the Sibs, or maybe even a sports game. What is going on at EA? Is it like really that bad right now with the gaming bubble bursting around them? If the new Dragon Age wasn't doing too good, I don't don't think the last few Battlefield games have been stellar reception-wise, but y'all can correct me on that one. So Motive Studio did the Dead Space remaster, they did Star Wars Battlefront 2, and they're the ones working on Iron Man. There's been a lot of ask recently around Battlefront 3. The player numbers of Battlefront 2 has surged, so maybe this is even more of an insight that we will see Battlefront 3, because they're only going to focus on these growth IPs, and guess what? Star Wars is a growth IP. So not a whole lot to see on the Iron Man game. It's a single-player, third-person action-adventure Iron Man video game developed in collaboration with Marvel. Again, another single-player game, so that could be interesting. That would be the closest thing we'd get to like a Superman game if you could just fly around, or one of those old like prototype games. So they are sizing down. It sucks with all these layoffs and restructures, but at least they're not tripling down in just live service games. So Iron Man is going to be single player. And again, hopefully they don't screw up Battlefield 6. If you really wanted a Black Panther game, I'm sorry for you, but hey, at least Rise of Hydra is coming out next year. Rise of Hydra was delayed recently till early 2026. All around, though, just sucks to see another studio shut down in a game that we couldn't even see the fruits of. It looks like they've been working on it for at least 2 years, right? That's when they announced it. They could have been working on it earlier than that. When are we going to say that we're out of the bubble bursting for AAA games? We're seeing studios come and go faster than me on the toilet after having Subway. This is sad news overall. For one, a Black Panther game led by the lead of Shadow of Mordor sounds incredibly hype, but also that means that EA might not have seen this as having enough potential for growth. And that could be scary, right? If the bubble bursting of AAA games means we will only see safe games being made, take an existing IP that's successful and put it in a genre or thing that you know is going to sell. It's probably why we have breakout games like Expedition 33, where something unique is done, right? And they don't just work on the next Assassin's Creed. This could be a combination of many things, right? The constant growth in gaming getting more expensive, unrealistic sales numbers with these games, especially when everyone's spending their money on Switch 2 or waiting for GTA 6. With the ever increasing cost of living and cost of gaming, the solution here is very obvious. If they would make more AA games and not everything needs to be this crazy 4,000 people worked on this type game, I don't know, but if a single player sandbox Black Panther game was not seen as growth at EA, first of all, EA is flopping, but second of all, this is a symptom to a problem we've been seeing dramatically since 2023. Games are getting too expensive. There's such a crazy demand on growth and profits. Day after day, we hear this studio didn't hit expectations. We're shutting them down, even though their game got amazing, stellar reviews. Were you hyped for this game? I mean, you just have to honestly like either single player superhero games that are not Batman or the Avengers. I was going to talk about all the Switch 2 leaks, but this video would probably be taken down if I showed that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.